Oh, no, it just, I got it, like, I set it up to go so that when I got here, y'all can hear me now, right? So I set it up to go once I got here, but then I had to walk down here. I didn't want y'all to, like, see me breathing heavy all the way here. So, is it working though? Can y'all hear me? Amy says, here we go. Just waiting to see if, are we good? There may be a delay, I'm not sure. Gosh, we may have to go off the beach to get better signal. Let me see. I'll pull it up on my other phone and see what I see. I'm not as good at finding this as y'all are. Oh, yeah. Okay, so your comments aren't showing on here for me. They show on here, but all of a sudden, wonder why. I had this problem once before. So as long as my phone doesn't ring, we're good to go. Polly is having a time of it. She had to come back home Tuesday from school. I had to go get her because evidently all the sickness, she has exercise-induced asthma, and she'll have asthma a little when she's sick, like with the croup, but she has developed just asthma now. They said probably because of being sick so much. So she's on more steroids, a new inhaler, but she's at school today and evidently not feeling real well. So if my phone rings, I will have to take that. And I evidently this morning at the barn was kind of a mess. I think the little girls all got in the lane, got in with the Rams, as well as Sassy. So we're going to have to probably give them a shot of Ludolase just to be sure nobody got bred. And I hate that. I have just been, I don't know, I needed to do Christmas shopping, but I just needed a day or two to reset, to rest, and I feel horribly guilty about that, but at the same time, like my whole body was shutting down, and I think it was mimicking a lot of symptoms of being sick. Now, a lot of them are also what they are, but I was absolutely no use to anyone because I couldn't get out of bed. So, I think sometimes it's good to realize that we have to take care of ourselves, even if it's just for 5 minutes, in order to be able to take care of everyone else. And all of this going on this morning with Polly and Kevin and the sheep, and it was a little overwhelming. Cassie was like, just take 5 minutes and pray. And it's not that I haven't prayed this whole entire time, but sometimes they're more like frantic prayers, in the midst of everything, where I don't actually stop what I'm doing. And sometimes it takes being reminded to just stop everything else. Like, stop. 5 minutes, 30 seconds, and pray. And that's what I did, and God was like, go do prayer time at the beach. Just because you're not at the barn doesn't mean you can't do prayer time, because yes, you need this, but so does everyone else. Just that break where we stop and we pray, and yes, what we pray about is important, but I think the biggest thing that happens is just this transformation in your soul of when you talk to God about anything, the peace that you get, whether you're praying for yourself or someone else. It's just taking that time and talking to God. It transforms everything, because sometimes God's way of answering prayers is not to fix the actual problem, but to fix us to where we can handle the actual problem. And I don't think any of us would choose that, but it's really a beautiful thing to be able to get stronger and to be able to not just make the problems go away, but to work through them. Because you get stronger when you work through them. You're able to handle more. Things bother you less. Some little cuties down there playing on the beach. So if you're new here, typically on Mondays and Fridays at 12:30, we do a prayer time together. I know not everyone believes the same as me, and that's okay. I'm still glad you're here. I just want to give you a heads up. So if it's not something you're comfortable with, by all means, you don't have to stay. I never ever want to make anyone uncomfortable, but you're also welcome to stay, whether you believe the same or you don't. You're always wanted and respected. So I'm so thankful to have this time. Every time we do it, but there's so much chaos right now, and I could have done it from up there at the house, but what's more peaceful than the ocean? I mean, well, a sheep barn, but the ocean's pretty peaceful. Okay, we'll go ahead and start. God, thank you. Thank you for another beautiful day, another day of life, another chance to try again, to start over, to change the things that need to be changed, to make up for things that we should have done differently. Another day that because of Jesus we were forgiven and we can start over. God, if we are alive and breathing, then there is potential for our life. There is a reason that we're here. There is a purpose and wonderful things ahead. And I thank you so much for that. I thank you for that hope that no matter what's going on today, it does not mean that this is how it will always be. There's always going to be mountains. There's always going to be obstacles. But God, you're bigger than all of that. And I pray that each one of us today can focus on you instead of the mountains and the problems ahead of us. And God, I thank you so much for each of my friends, for every single person here with me, for every person that will watch this later, God. I thank you for each of them, for their beautiful hearts, for their presence in the world, for all the good that they bring. Thank you for their friendship. And God, so many are hurting, so many are scared. And I just ask that you would give them peace, no matter what they're going through. Peace in their souls, to know that you're there. You're working, whether they can feel it or see it. that you would heal them, that you would flow through them, that you would heal them and restore them back to their health, God. I pray that you would give them hope, that you are working, and faith to believe that you're working. If they're scared or worried or anxious about anything, I pray that they would be so covered in your peace. That they would just smile, God. That a peace would come over them that they can't even explain. God, a peace that only comes from you. I pray that you would just wipe that worry, that anxiousness, that fear from them, and that it would be replaced with only 100% trust and faith and hope in you. God, help us all to remember that every breath we take is given from you. And if we can trust you to give us our next breath, how can we not trust you with everything else in our life? How can we say that you've done nothing or that you're not there when our hearts are still beating? God, I thank you for all the blessings and miracles that you have already done, that you are currently in the process of doing, for all the things that you are already working on, that you have in motion when we don't even know that there's going to be a problem yet, but you already have a plan. God, thank you so much for being so good. Thank you for Jesus. Thank you for a love that's the same every day. God, I just pray that each of my friends would know how important they are, would know how loved they are, how needed, how much of a wonderful difference they make in this world. I pray that you would help each of them to find and discover what you've put in them. What amazing qualities that you've given just to them. I ask that when they look in the mirror, that they see what you see. When they look at each other, that they see what you see. That we go out into the world and we try to see the best in every human. That we look past the flaws and we just look for the good things. God, that we could just transform the whole way that we look at life. To see it from your perspective as best we can. To see the beauty in every person as well as ourselves. To see the hope in every situation, no matter how dark. God, help us to never forget that you hold everything in your hands. In Jesus' name, amen. I think anytime that, my feet are going to sleep, anytime that we get scared or overwhelmed, I don't think that you can get scared or overwhelmed and still at the same time wholeheartedly be focusing and believing that God's in control. I don't think it's possible to do both. And I think this morning was a really good reminder for me to bring my focus back. And I mean, it doesn't mean you don't get tired and exhausted. But it is always okay to cut out 5 minutes, 30 seconds, lock the door to the bathroom, and just pray. To let everything go for just a few minutes and talk to God. Give him your anger, your fear, your worries. He's big enough to handle it. He already knows it's there. You don't have to be ashamed to tell him. But there is so much healing in prayer, in just being with God, just talking to him. And I try to always start every prayer off by being thankful, because that instantly changes my perspective. It changes my attitude. It doesn't make the other problems go away, but being grateful changes your heart. And there's always something to be grateful for. Of course, we all have things that we want to be different, that we want God to fix, but that doesn't mean that there's not something to be grateful for. Do you still have feet to put shoes on, even if they hurt? Some people don't. Do you still have hands to hold things? Do you still have eyes that can go outside, and if there's no beauty anywhere else, that can look at the sky? I bet every one of you has at least one of those. We have freedom. We have freedom to make choices each day about what we eat, where we go, what we wear. You know, we may always want more choices, but you still have the freedom to choose those things for yourself. You have the freedom to believe how you want to believe. If you're on here, you have access to internet. That's a blessing. We can, leave what we're dealing with at any time to escape or learn whenever we want. There are, and the biggest, we're loved, created for a purpose. God did not make any of us with the intentions of us living a life of suffering. He didn't. His plans for us are to grow us into what we need to be, but to use us. If we're in bed sick and unable to do anything, I'm not saying that you can't be used there, because you can be used anywhere. But God has plans to shape us into something where we are fulfilling a purpose. And everyone's purpose is different. I don't know, I think back to my younger self, and I would think things like, well, I'm not real interested in that purpose. I want what I want. But as an adult who's grown a little more there and experienced what it's like to actually do things that God wants me to do, I can say there is no greater joy on this earth than fulfilling that purpose, than doing the things that God has set out for you. It is the best feeling. It's just the best. I'll let y'all look at the ocean a minute, and I'll try to look at some of your comments, because I can't see them here. beautiful as it is. It's like at the beach, I guess where there's humidity, the hot is so hot and the cold is so cold. So what would feel really good at home here is kind of chillier, but it is beautiful. Y'all are just the best. Ooh, Mindy, I saw a quote. God is writing our story. Don't try to take the pen. Wow. My ornery self, I would snatch that pen in a heartbeat. But I'm so glad. I'm so glad he doesn't let me, because I would write just the most disastrous story ever. I would trying to do my best. It would be a disaster, but God loves us enough to let things be hard in order to get us to where we need to be, to where life is good. And it's really hard to understand that or see it at the time. There's all different kinds of pain. And I don't even know which is worse. I don't. You have physical pain. You have worry and fear. Fear is consuming. You have grief, anger. But God has a plan in all of it. And I think if we could all just really believe, myself included, during those hardest times, that God didn't quit. He didn't give up. He's working. It may not make any sense, because it doesn't. When you are suffering, it makes no sense. I say to myself, how could this bring any good? How could anything good ever come from this? How could a God who loves me allow this to happen? And I don't always have the answers. I do know, though, that there is not one bad thing that has ever happened to me that eventually did not have a blessing come from it. Even if it's just to be able to relate to other people. And in the moment, most of us would gladly just trade, have it took away, because it's the pure misery. It's like, it's okay if I can't relate to someone else. I'm done. I'm out. But once you make it to the other end, it's always worth it. It's always worth it. And I think if in those moments we could truly believe that there was a light at the end, that it's all just temporary, if you could just truly believe that, it's so much easier. To think like an animal, like a sheep, like a dog. They focus on right now. Right now. There's no worry about what comes next. And I think that comes from God. I think animals have a way better connection with God than we do. And God did not mean for it to be that way. He wants us to have the ultimate relationship with Him. That would mean not worrying about tomorrow, not worrying about what's getting ready to happen in the next few minutes. Doesn't mean you don't plan and be prepared, but as far as worry or anxiousness, fear, not those things. Because so much of our pain is self-inflicted. of when will it stop? What if it doesn't? What if it gets worse? What if this leads into that? What if I never ever stop feeling this way? What if this is the rest of my life? And I mean, all of a sudden, whatever we're feeling is magnified 1,000 times over. But if you could just know in that moment that God's got this, He loves you, He's building a beautiful life, and we may not understand the process, but He sees the whole picture. I always think about it like, I don't know, I picture like looking down on a map, or I don't know why I see the map as a puzzle, but I always see the map as puzzle pieces, and perhaps that's because, you know, it's being put together. But I picture God up here looking down on it. And I don't know why, I always picture like a yellow brick road, like on the Wizard of Oz, and that's what I'm walking along. And you know, He's up here and He sees every obstacle, every hurtful thing that's going to happen, every meltdown, every breakdown, every heartbreak. He sees all of that, but He sees it, what we have to walk and go through to get to what He has over here. So for Him, He feels our pain, and His heart breaks for hours, but He sees the journey, He sees the end. We're down here. We only see right in front of us where we're at. We can't see the end. We can't see the rest of it. To be honest, I don't want to. All I really want to do is look up. To look up to the one who can see the end, who can see the good stuff, who built the road, who already sees what's coming up that's bad, and He's already put in place what I need to be able to get through that. That is some chilly, sandy wind. Y'all want to go see the ocean? Up closer? Hang on, I'll take you. Oh, my knee! Oh, Kristen, when you have a swollen, sore knee and you sit on it for 30 minutes, that's not smart. It's okay, we were praying. God's got this. I mean it. I brought my bag. This is what I got for Christmas last year, and I've promised myself I will not turn it into a sheet bag. We're going to shake the towel out. Very sandy. I might end up turning it into a sandbag though, right here in a minute. So this is Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Right outside of Ocean Lakes Campground. So it's really close to Surfside. There's a lot of bad publicity about Myrtle, but I love it. It's, I love it. Let me flip y'all around. Let's see. I'm gonna try to get, oh! No! Are y'all still there? Hello, friends. Okay, that worked. I knocked you off the tripod. There we go. I wish I could see your comments. That's frustrating. I might can look on my other phone while we walk. That's what we'll do. It's a beautiful day. Like there's all of the houses. Let me pull y'all up over here. Why do I keep scrolling to that egg video? Oh, you are here. Bike Week? I've actually been here during Bike Week before. Me and Polly took the golf cart out there and parked it on the road. We got Domino's. And we sat there on the golf cart and just watched it. It was fun. It's a different crowd, but I like different. through the sand and will be salty, sandy, and sticky. I don't like that. Oh, I love the waves. I love to go out and swim in the ocean, but if I'm not going like all the way in, then I don't want to just get partially wet. We did wear Crocs though. Did not wear my tennis shoes. Oh, I could definitely sleep on the beach. I would have to like have something super cozy to wear though right now because it's chilly. Oh, I just saw a bird. They're like diving down looking for fish. That's kind of fascinating. One time, I grew up feeding the birds bread, and so I never knew it was bad. And then me and Polly came out here and made a TikTok feeding the birds, and people were like, no, that's so bad for them. And they started telling stories about how they've seen birds explode. I can't remember what it does to them, but they said if you want to feed them to get bird seed. That's right, Kathy. You're right there at the beach. I bet your beach is warmer, which it's not cold. Let's see. Temperature is 61 and it feels like 57. I don't know. It's just a whole different feel than that temperature would be at home. At home I would probably have on a t-shirt. Ooh, what's this in the sand? Oh, it's just a leaf. How not interesting. Still in the 80s? Oh my gosh! I love you too, Holly. I love all of y'all so much. This is very different from our typical scenery, but it's a nice change. My daddy was, I'm thinking around his late 30s, the first time he ever came to the ocean. I'll never forget it because he grew up on a dairy farm, so he couldn't leave. You know, they never went on vacation. And then he always worked, and we didn't really have money to go to the beach. When we went, we would just kind of ride with my aunt, and everybody would pack into one tiny motel room. It was fun. But when my daddy first got to go, he was in his late 30s, but I'll never forget, he stood here and he said, you can't see the end. And he just stood here staring and he said, you can't see the end. It just keeps going. I'll never forget that. That was one of the coolest moments in my whole life. Like, that was precious. Oh, Skylar, thank you. 59 in North Carolina. How long of a drive? If there's no traffic, it's right at 4.5 hours. So, I mean, it's not bad, but for someone who doesn't like to travel, such as myself, I drove at night. He is a good soul. So I didn't leave home till like 9:30, and I got down here with all my stops. It was right at 3 a.m. But I would rather drive at night. I get sleepy during the day. Oh, Rhonda, thank you for being here with me. I'm so glad we did prayer time. I'm so glad. Holly, 64 in, is that New Mexico? In him? Y'all know I'm really bad with abbreviations for states. And we're supposed to hit 79. If it's New Mexico, shouldn't it be like really hotter? I would have thought maybe. Do I have that wrong? See the sun. Do y'all want to see some of the houses? There's some pretty houses. Go up through here, see if I can even remember where I came out at. Polly is, boy, poor Polly's having the time of it. So she's developed asthma now, and she has only been back, she's only spent 2 full days at school. Out of this whole semester, I bet she's only been to school 8 days, and the semester ends at Christmas. That child has been, she has just been so sick for so long, and she'll start to feel better, and of course, you know, they have to go back to school, even though you'd like them to be able to rest up and feel better, but then she'll catch something else. And I think part of it is probably just, you know, kind of like when you start your kids in kindergarten or preschool or daycare, and there's all these new germs. I mean, Polly has gotten out plenty, but she's not been in the school system for 5 years. So that's a lot. I wish you could go more often to Lita. Sounds mega windy. It's always windy at the beach, where it always is here. You're usually in the upper 60s, and we get to freezing at night. Oh, that is a lot. That's a huge difference. Thank you, Kathy. 75 in Florida. Because you got a cold front this morning. You honeymooned at Ocean Lakes. I love Ocean Lakes. It is really family friendly. Only 2 hours from Myrtle. Lucky, Susan. I'm so happy you're here, Marcia. So happy. She is around all the cooties. Now she's spreading her cooties around. Look at these beautiful houses. Like they're just what dreams are made of. They have a basketball court and volleyball over there. So during the summer, they'll do what's called like either the golf cart parade or cruising. And right down through here, you drive your golf carts and everybody smacks hands, which some people think is really nasty. And yes, I do usually end up catching something, but at the same time, it's so fun. Morris is doing good. His stomach is still, so he still has some trouble pooping, but we've started giving him magnesium hydroxide. And oddly, it's a little hard to get mixed up in the bottles. It tries to just clump and separate to the bottom, no matter how much you shake it. But if I can keep it separated, then he can poop on his own. If I can't, it starts looking like dog poop, and he can't get it out on his own. I was looking at these dog, oh, and there's my phone call. Okay, I will pause it a minute, and if I can come back, I will, and if not, how do I even pause it? Okay, I'll just hold y'all here for a minute, but I may have to abruptly get off. Hello? Oh. What's that? Hello? me, hang on, give me just a minute. I'm gonna step, huh? Well, I think try your best to stick it out, okay? I am so sorry, and I think you are so kind. Okay. Good. I'm glad I got to keep y'all on here. Poor little Polly. Fayetteville. I want to call that Fayette. Oh, you did not say Fayetteville, did you? I misread. I've been to some rough Walmarts around here. Oh my gosh. People will just come right up to your window and bang on it. I have the Walmart over on Seaboard Street. I carry a taser out in the open in the daylight to go in that Walmart. I mean, I love Myrtle, but over in the there's some areas that you just have to be more careful than others, because there's some very, very aggressive people. I love the color of that house. Like, isn't that beautiful? Our house is not up on, what do you call that? Stilts, legs, lifted. Ours ain't a high rise. Nor beautiful like these. Oh, poor Kevin. Kevin had a time and a half this morning, didn't he? I mean, bless his heart. I don't even mean to laugh, but oh, that kind of sounded rough. Just like a coral color. You can get by with fun colors at the beach. I could see me trying to do it at home. Like, what's good for the beach is good for Fancy Gap. That color was Pantone Color of the Year recently? Huh. Well, it's okay. Kevin would rather y'all giggle at him than not. There's this lady, she's on TikTok. It's called like Richson Properties, I think. And she owns, it's over 20 houses in here. And I mean, hers stand out more than any others because she will go full out with color and decor. And she is so good at what she does. There's even one in here that she owns. It's just like a camper. Oh my gosh, she's made that camper look like a 5-star hotel. Ooh, a rainbow of houses in Charleston? I don't know. Have I ever been to Charleston? I don't know if I have. It was definitely not on this bingo card. I honestly think all the animals waited till I left to act up, like the cows getting out the night before last. And he's not feeling well himself. I wonder if he isn't starting to get a little bit of what I might have had, because I kind of think part of mine was a virus. But right over here is one of her creations. I'll show you. It's going to be this also coral colored one. I'm not sure what that is, but we're just looking at the house. Like, isn't that so pretty? Like, so much attention to detail, even down to that. Like, it's so pretty. I love that. Let me go out of the live and come back in. Mine was dragging. There we go. But like, everything in here is just so pretty. There's a few that aren't, but for the most part they're all really nice. Oh, it's okay to laugh at him. He's like me. He would rather make people happy. I mean, even in my suffering, if I can make somebody laugh, then it gives a little purpose to it, you know? Don't y'all feel bad for laughing. Plus, he's always someone who has everything so under control. So, walk a mile in my shoes, Kevin. Oh, there's no mailboxes in here. I bet they would be fun. There's a lot of pine trees in here. There's palm trees, but there's more pine trees than anything, which kind of surprised me. And they have security, so like you can't get in unless you have a pass or a sticker, so not just everyone can drive in. I love that. The security patrols it 24/7. There's a curfew. So if you're out past 11, like you have to be on your way somewhere and they will stop you. Your son's a Marine? Oh, that is awesome, Nadine. Oh yeah, lifting sheep is nothing for him. It's ridiculous, really. I wish I could do that, but that's never gonna happen. Little babies. There's a yellow house. She's a little brat. I was kind of thinking about maybe going live on TikTok later. I don't know, I get nervous, especially if I haven't done it in a while. And then I'm like, well, what would I do? You know, I have no sheep around me. I also need to go do some more Christmas shopping today. But he had the 1,000-yard stare at one point. That's great. Poor little Frankfurt. Frankfurt. We love Frankfurt. I like this big blue house over here. I will say, it seems like everything at the ocean, like this close, gets really worn down quicker. I don't know, maybe it's the salt in the air. Or maybe it's just so many people coming. Secretly brought Tinkles. Is she not there? I hope she's there. I might get jacked. If I do, it isn't going to be that jacked. We might just be able to feel some muscle through the fat. I don't know. Oh yeah, he will. He'll lift them up by the fluff. which it doesn't hurt them. I'll have to say, when I grab them sometimes, that's all you can get a hold of. Wow, I think we're walking right into a construction zone. That's not loud. Eesh. I do like that color house. Oh, they're cutting trees. Looky there. Look how tall. Okay, we'll go this way. I'll wrap presents on live. Except I'm a horrible rapper. And then, what if I have to slam on my brakes on the way home and destroy them? That's a really good idea. Maybe. You know what though? I wonder if the sound of the crinkling paper would drive some people crazy. I don't know. You can always try. Getting my steps in. My nose is running so bad. Okay, I have got to go take a shower and accomplish something today. We're gonna leave Kevin with all of that. We at least have to, like, you know, have something to show for it, right? Thank y'all for spending the morning with me. It's been fun. It's been really, really good. I've loved it, and I miss y'all so much. And if anyone misses prayer time, it'll take it just a little bit to post, but this will post to where anyone can watch it. See y'all soon. Y'all keep Kevin in line. Give him encouragement. He walks by, be like, "You're awesome, Sheep Dad." I told him I'm gonna make him a shirt that says Sheep Daddy, and that he has to wear it when he feeds. I love y'all. Have the best day.